Peace, everybody. Another warm welcome. On today's episode of Hakim's Adventures, we're going to be diving straight into 777 and other Kabbalistic writings of Aleister Crowley. Today is a special day because we're going to be doing the deity readings, but through the Egyptian incarnation. So the energies we're going to read off for the corresponding names and numbers are going to be specific and tailored to you based off of your name. So I'm going to read out a set of numbers, and then I'm going to read the deity name. Let me retract that. I'm going to read out the deity name, and the number that corresponds with the letters in your name is what you're going to use as far as this is the deity I'm at. So, without further ado, let's get this party started. I'm sure everyone knows how many letters are in their name, so you're going to count all the letters that are in your name, and then once you have that overall number, all you're going to have to do for right now is just listen to the names I call out with the number for that God associated with that number. Yes, there are people with, believe it or not, just one letter in their name overall, but that's not a big deal. This system was set up for any and everybody. So I believe it's 1 through 32 I'm going to be going in. So once you have that number, I'll give you a few moments, count up your name. Oh, before I forget, take out any suffix or prefix. So I'm a junior, so I just wouldn't include junior in that. So just first, middle, last. That's all you need. First, middle, last. One more time. All you need is your first name, middle name, and last name. Alright, we're going to start here in a second. Here we go. Alright, the first number will be 1. The Egyptian deity associated with that one will be Ptah. If you have 2 letters in your name, the Egyptian god or goddess associated with that is Isis. 3 is Nephias. 4, Amun. 5 is Horus. 6 is Ra. 7 is Hathor. 8 is Thoth. 9 is Shu. That's S-H-U. 10 is associated with Osiris. 11 is associated with Maut, M-O-U-T, Maut. 12 is going to be Thoth, T-H-O-T-H. 13 is going to be Chomsi, C-H-O-M-S-E. 14 is going to be Hathor. 16 is going to be Isis. 15 is going to be Isis. 16 is going to be Osiris. 17, the twin Merti. Merti is spelled M-E-R-T-I. 18 is going to be Harmaku, H-O-R-M-A-K-H-U. And that's 18, Harmaku. 19 is going to be Horus. 20 is going to be Heru-Pa-Karat. Heru-Pa-Karat. 21 is going to be Amun-Ra. 22 is going to be Mayat. 23 has more than one, so 23 is also associated with Asar, Merti, Typhon, and Apep. 23 is just Asar. 24 is Merit, Typhon, and Apep. 25 is Neophytes. 26 is Set. 27 is Horus. 28 is Nut. 29 is Anubis. 30 will be Ra. 31 is associated with Mau, M-A-U. 32 will be Sekbek and Mako. Sekbek is S-E-B-E-K and Mako is M-A-K-O. Now we're going to get into how to read these energies. So once you have the name associated with the corresponding letters of the sum total in your name, basically all the letters in your name tallied up to whatever number that I read off, you want to research that deity, that god or goddess, because that's supposed to be the reflection of what the energy you incarnated with in this lifetime. Mine was Osiris. I had several run-ins trying to figure that out beforehand. Once I started getting into my spiritual work and a lot of my dream work, I started to notice when I studied the Osirian mythology, I started to notice a lot of my life lined up with Osiris. So therefore, my overall is Osiris. I deal a lot with the subconscious, the hidden, on a day-to-day basis. Dreaming for me has been a very big part of that. So as you're going through, for a perfect example, I'll give you guys a perfect example of what you can do as far as with the god or goddess name that you have. So when I look up Osiris, the first thing that pops out is Lord of the Far World, also known as Asur. The origin is Egypt or Libya. Osiris's ancient deity is a culture hero. He invented agriculture, the sacred rites of grain. He taught people to bake bread and brew beer. That tells us one thing. What? He's a teacher and a cultivator of knowledge. Osiris invented wine, built the first temple, and taught the art of sculpting so that the first statues were formed. He taught musical and theatrical arts. After teaching these arts in Egypt, Osiris traveled around the world. That's crazy, because I've always had a desire to travel, and I have traveled myself, transmitting his knowledge. He left his sister or wife, Isis, as regent of Egypt. In addition to being worshipped in Egypt, Osiris was deeply venerated in Libya. Some scholars believe that he may have originated there as a Berber deity. His name may mean the one enthroned. Isis is the throne. His name is also interpreted as throne of the eye, possibly referring to a legend that Osiris' soul shelters in the eye of Horus. Osiris is most famous as a central, if passive, figure in a long, complex Egyptian saga. His brother and rival, Set, killed Osiris. Isis, mistress of magic, together with a host of spirit allies, attempted to resurrect him. Anubis invented embalming, and Osiris became the first mummy. Osiris has two primary functions. He is the Lord of Grain, the original John barleycorn, cut down in his prime every year. The death of Osiris was the subject of annual festivals, possibly the prototype for modern Christian passion plays. Osiris presides over the Egyptian realm of the dead, although usually envisioned as a passive figure. Osiris does command an army of ghosts. Osiris plays such a complex role that the Greeks identified him with three deities: Apollo, lord of music, order, and civilization; Dionysus, inventor of beer and wine; and Hades, lord of death. Now this is the manifestation. Osiris is not just the spirit of grain, he is grain, nourishment. Iconograph. This is how Osiris is depicted. Osiris is portrayed as a crowned mummy. He is sometimes depicted with wheat sprouting from his body. Now his attributes: the crook and flail of kingship. Osiris, lord of death, is the only Egyptian deity who does not carry the Ankh, symbol of life. The emblem. The Djed pillar is usually understood as Osiris' backbone and represents stability, but may also represent his lost phallus or the three trunks that housed him. Creatures that are associated with Osiris. You have cat And then Cat, guardian of the grand storehouse. His colors are black and green. Constellation. Orion is home of his soul. Egyptian astrology perceive what we call Urza Major as Osiris' funeral pyre. His scent is, or his center flower is frankincense. Now, with all that information given, the first part that I read right after I said Lord of the Far World, basically as you're going through and you're reading the deity's energy, or you're reading the mythology of that deity, you want to see how your life relates. So you want to interpret it your own way and see if it relates or corresponds to you, and see what direction that overall puts you in, because that spiritually will tell you which way you should go and which way you shouldn't go if you're just starting out. So by me using the Osiris energy, I've been really busy doing a lot of study as far as getting into candle magic, learning about crystals, learning what happens behind the back scene of when you actually do a lot of these said rituals. Like I was really fascinated with how the mind works. Why does the ritual work? So I start asking myself those questions and prying really into my spiritual studies to come out with the answer for that. So overall, you just want to see how that energy, or that deity energy, if that's something real for you. Do you agree on it or not agree on it? For those who agree on it and who can see or feel, or even have overall presence of them having that energy on them, that's something that they should just take hold of and put it in their pocket and just utilize that. You can just talk to any of the deities anytime you want. It's just like having a conversation with me or you. Don't be afraid. You can even ask them for assistance. You can do whatever, but the possibilities in this. I'll be doing let's see here, because actually in this they have the corresponding colors in the stones, and that's very interesting. You can actually use the colors in the stones in your spiritual work. So if you actually want to enhance a spiritual attribute that you have, you can use that particular color stone that you have. Basically, you're just going to increase your own frequency with that color stone every time you wear it, or you carry it, or you hold it, however you so choose. But stay tuned. I know this was brief, but I'll give another update for the stones and colors associated with the deities in that color. So just remember your number. I'll just call out the number, and then after I call out the number, I'll read off the colors and the stones, and then I share what I do with the colors and the stones.